Today we're presented with a straightforward question with a seemingly straightforward answer. Who should preside over the impeachment trial of Donald Trump? Now, the straightforward, practical, and seemingly obvious answer to that is Chief Justice John Roberts. But this is 2021, we are in clown world, and as many things exist in law, there is usually another answer, which is cumbersome, academic, complicated, and impractical, but may ultimately still be correct. And in this case, that is anyone other than Chief Justice John Roberts. So why are we talking about this? Well, first of all, I'm Nick Recato of Recato Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. I'm a lawyer, and I am a legal and political commentator here on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button if you like that kind of content, and drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about this video and these legal topics. Okay. Senator Rand Paul says Chief Justice Roberts won't take Trump impeach trial. This is from New York Post. This will be in the description if you want to read it. We just really need the concept, and you can search the internet right now and find any number of headlines exploring this topic in different ways. But the ultimate question is, will or should Chief Justice John Roberts preside over the impeachment trial of Donald Trump? Now, the simple and obvious answer is yes, of course he will. And this is because you're thinking in the same way that I am, right? I've memorized my Constitution. I know that when the president sits for the impeachment trial, then the Chief Justice shall preside. Shall being the commanding and operative language that is used, which means must. That Donald Trump is basically entitled to Chief Justice John Roberts. In fact, here's the text from Article 1, Section 3 of the Constitution. It says, "The Senate shall have the sole power to try all impeachments. When sitting for that purpose, they shall be on oath or affirmation. When the President of the United States is tried, the Chief Justice shall preside." So not only is it written down, but it rhymes, so it must be true. "And no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 2/3 of the members present." Again, straightforward. President, trial, Chief Justice. Very simple. But it is 2021. We're in this ridiculous place that may not have even been contemplated when this was written, and that is they have impeached a president. They've impeached a president while he was in office, basically knowing that he would be out of office when the trial would be able to take place. So in this case, President Donald Trump was impeached before January 20th. We are now after January 20th, and President Trump's impeachment trial has not occurred. Now, some people, like Alan Dershowitz, a very respected legal scholar and lawyer, have suggested that this impeachment is entirely unconstitutional because of that, suggesting that Donald Trump will be a private citizen and the Senate does not have the power to hear the impeachment trial of a private citizen. But this has actually been in some ways addressed, though not with a president, with impeachments in the past. There have been 2 impeachments, as far as I'm aware, of people who have either resigned or otherwise left office prior to their impeachment trial. Now, neither of those people were convicted of their impeachment. One of them was found innocent, and the other one, they actually found they didn't have the jurisdiction to hear the impeachment trial. So what will actually happen with Donald Trump is an open question, but we don't have a concrete answer. And anyone telling you they know the answer to these questions is lying to you. Frankly, they're selling you a bill of goods. We don't have resolution on these very rare legal topics, and we get the opportunity to make that resolution. My proposal is simple. If you're impeached as president, then you sit for trial as president, because if you're sitting for trial as something else, that's weird. We don't know what that is. Now, on the rare possibility that a president gets appointed as a Supreme Court justice or were to be elected to some other position after being president, then sure, you could impeach them in that capacity, and that would be a different story. But if you're a former president, in many respects, you are president. And again, I think it's critical that they intentionally impeached Donald Trump prior to him leaving office, because the questionable ability of them to impeach after leaving office raised too many questions. Why would we be able to impeach someone who's no longer the president, a private citizen? That is really, really unsound constitutionally, and they would have a lot of hurdles. This was the intent. Make no mistake. impeach him while he's in office. They rushed it through for this specific purpose. So, where do we draw our reasoning? Like, how do we get to the answer here? Again, I think the simple and straightforward answer is it's John Roberts. And that is partly because, one, if they have John Roberts preside, it will have at least the constitutional legitimacy at its maximum. If we're under the impression that Donald Trump is impeachable because he was impeached while president, then he should remain in a presidential status for purpose of the trial. Otherwise, it's moot. And I'm saying it's moot because the second paragraph of the impeachment in Article 1, Section 3 seems to indicate that he must be. So here we go. Here's why. Judgment in cases of impeachment shall not extend further than to removal from office and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States. Now, did you catch the critical word in that sentence? It's and, which is such a simple 3-letter word, seemingly innocuous there in the middle of a sentence, but it is absolutely critical. And we have all kinds of case law that supports the idea, in fact, overtly states the idea that every single piece of the Constitution, every phrase, every sentence, every word, every punctuation mark is intentional. And we cannot ignore or read out or translate or transliterate any of that. So the and cannot be or because it is and only and. So we have two concepts in impeachment that are merged into one purpose, right? And that is the power to remove from office and to disqualify to hold and enjoy any office of honor, yada, yada, yada. Okay? And, not or. If it were or, there would be two separate causes of action. We would be trying to remove someone from office, or we would be trying to disqualify someone from holding future offices. Those would be two separate things. And in fact, that may give the Senate the actual authority to impeach private citizens who are pursuing office, something that basically everyone thinks they can't do right now. But since it's and, those two things are inextricably tied. And that, to me, says this is why Donald Trump must be the president for purposes of impeachment, because we must remove him from office before we can disqualify him. And basically everyone agrees with that. This 67 vote thing that you keep hearing about is the idea that they're going to have to convince 17 Republicans to convict on impeachment to remove Donald Trump from office. And then there's a subsequent simple majority vote that would follow for the disqualification from holding future offices. Okay? Those cannot be separated. If you can bypass the first one, then it seems that Congress would simply be able to disqualify whoever they want from running by simple majority vote, which means theoretically that one party holding a Senate and House simple majority could prevent and disqualify the entire opposing party, one by one, I guess, of being able to hold office, which means as political rivals popped up, they could merely find some alleged failing, and there wouldn't really be any questionable review of it, and they could remove them from office. This doesn't seem tenable in any sort of way. So if Donald Trump is not president, can the Senate even hear the case? And again, Alan Dershowitz, highly respected lawyer and legal scholar, has suggested that he will not be president, and therefore the Senate cannot even hear the trial in the first place. But if they determine that, of course we can because he was impeached while he was president, then he must necessarily remain president because we must necessarily entertain the dual purpose of impeachment, and that is removal and disqualification. We don't get to ignore any single bit of it. So, I would like to know what you guys think. Tell me in the comments down below. I hope you found this exercise interesting. It really is an interesting question. It is emblematic of the state that we're in, where we are, for political purposes, making things entirely more complicated than they should be. And of course, as a final thought, the practical, straightforward approach gives the maximum I guess, analog to constitutional reality. And that is that the Chief Justice must preside over this hearing. He must do it, because if he doesn't, this will never be seen as a valid impeachment. And if you have any sort of integrity, you should want everyone to view this as a valid impeachment. But I may have made a critical mistake in suggesting that politicians ever want integrity. Until we talk again, have a good day. Peace. Peace.